So you've got your presentation in PowerPoint open. It's the only thing open on your desktop that you need. If you need other web pages, etc., those should be integrated in post. That will be a little bit more advanced. Now is when we want to just look at doing a simple presentation to record your voice, your face, and the presentation itself inside of PowerPoint using the add-in for Camtasia. You see that there, launch presentation and start recording. Well, before we do that, we actually want to turn on our microphone and or our webcam. And this shows a camera preview, which you can, then you'll get this tip that says, you can skip it. You can move this around. Now you can see my face, and this to make sure that I'm framed up properly, and put this somewhere where it's out of the way. When you get to the actual recording process, you can move this anywhere you want off the screen, and it won't record it, like in this case, on top of your titles. So don't worry about that. But leave that up so you know where you are, you know what you look like. I have the windows behind me closed, plenty of ambient lighting in here. The lighting is touching my face, so we've got a pretty good image. So now we're in good shape. So let's look at the recording options. Let's get into this little guy here. You can see my voice is being represented by this green bar bouncing up and down, and that it's assigned the input to my microphone that is in my webcam. If I'm using an external mic or a USB mic headset, I should assign it to this. I do want to have my highlighted cursor, so every time I click something, if I'm using a lot of web pages, for example, or I'm using examples where things are moving around, I want to have that checked. If I uncheck that, my cursor could be anywhere and nobody would know where it is. So since you can't use your finger on the screen, I suggest you leave that open. We are recording from the camera in this case, so we can hit setup and we can fine tune our camera settings. We're in really good shape, so I wouldn't worry about that. And then at the end of the presentation, you're going to get a prompt that says, I would like to do what with this video that I just recorded? Either produce it or send it to Camtasia to edit. You would like to send it to Camtasia for edit. If you produce it, it's going to flatten it and not allow you to edit the three pieces: audio, your video face, and the presentation. So don't produce it, just send it to edit. All right, so there I'm back again. So what we would do next is we would hit this record button. Before I do, because we're going to lose a couple of things, before I do, when we want to do a last second check, make sure that we are on the right presentation, etc., and we are ready to go. Knowing that if you make a mistake in any of these slides, you can just count down 3, 2, 1. I'm redoing slide number 2, 3, 2, 1, and start that part of the presentation over. In the studio, we can edit and back edit all over the place so that we can make it look seamless. You don't have to get to slide 10, make a mistake, and start over at slide 1. Not necessary. Just give us a clean break in your thought process, a place to edit, and you can even tell us in the video what it is you want to fix and how you want it fixed. We can understand that, and there's a lot of techniques we can use to make sure that it looks seamless and you look good. So I'd get ready to go, and I would hit record. I would count myself down, smile, be ready to have an exciting 10-minute to 15-minute presentation, and keep the energy up and keep it rolling. This is an example of a presentation you can record in Camtasia using your webcam with its audio, or using a USB microphone and headset with no webcam and just audio, or just the audio on your laptop or PC. You have to have some kind of audio, but you do not have to have a video clip to go along with it. I'm just going to go through an example of how I can shuttle through the presentation and show the slides to of the presentation to the people on the other end. I'm currently in presenter mode, so I'm actually seeing everything in presenter mode, where I see the current slide I'm on, the timer, my face in this example, and the upcoming slide. So let's say I start talking about use this PowerPoint as your template and learn, and I decide that I want to omit this slide. I can actually edit it out. And I'm just going to go through these one at a time. And if you are going to play video inside of one of your short clips, it's better to provide that video to the studio as a separate file. Tell us where the placeholder is. Account for the length of the video. So if the video is 2 minutes long or 60 seconds long, account for that in your total 10 to 15 minute presentation so that you don't end up being 16 minutes or longer. Okay, and any animations that exist in your PowerPoints will come through in the final recording. This is recording not stills, it is recording it as a video feed. And let's call it just about over here. We're on the final slide, and this is where you can do your salutation. Thank you for joining us. If you have any additional questions, here's my contact information. Feel free to contact me in the future. Thank you. Make it short and sweet. Okay, at this point, you're done. You've hit stop recording by hitting escape inside of PowerPoint. You've told PowerPoint that you want to send this to Camtasia to edit, not to produce it. And then it'll launch Camtasia, which is normal and actually a good thing. You're going to be looking at this now inside of Camtasia, wondering, why is my video in the middle of that frame? What's going on? What are all these tracks? I'm scared. Don't be scared. The first thing Camtasia is going to ask you is, how do you want to import this video? And you can answer this way. You do not want to import it to your native screen resolution. You actually have to make a decision at this point. And the settings you want to set it to will be right here in the center are 1280 by 720. Great. It takes care of a lot after that. When you get in here then, you'll see that your video is somehow magically right on top of your presentation. That's a problem. We can move it. We can put it anywhere we want. We can get it out of there. We can fly it in. We can shuttle through the footage. You can see that these little blue triangles right here are actually representing the slides. So if at one point the image you're using is covering the slide, we would either move it off or we'd move it to a different position. Don't worry about that. If you want to learn how to do all those things, that will be fine, but it will require you to do some digging. What we would do is we'll see in here that the presentation starts. In my case, I did a lot of pre-roll and checked lighting and did all these things while I was recording and made some mistakes and all that and started over. So I actually decided to start the presentation at this point. And I would be editing all these things for you, so you really don't have to worry about a great deal. Just know that these little blue triangles right here are slide advanced changes. It's probably best that you don't mess with this stuff. You can send me some notes if you like on what needs to be changed. We will do this for you. And really what you need to worry about now is saying File, Save Project As, go to the appropriate folder, and Test Video on Demand Project, save. You saved your video project with a new name. To create a shareable video, you must produce the project. This is not talking about what you're doing. This is talking about making a video for YouTube. I'm going to worry about that. If you want to make your life easy, hit that Don't Show Again button and say OK. So now you would just need to zip that folder up, send it over to the Ohio Society of CPAs, and we will take care of the rest. Okay, I'm inside the folder that we saved the Test Video on Demand project into. This green icon is the project data. It's not the presentations in which were recorded. These three red presentation icons are the recordings. They all have to stay together in a folder. So what you have to do here is highlight, right click, and whatever zipping software you're using, you need to zip all these files together. So we're going to zip them. It actually names it the first, it's taking the first thing you highlighted. This isn't a big deal. You know, when we get in there, we know what we'll find and what we're looking for. But whenever possible, name the zip project the same as the project we're working on. It's just easier for us to track. Then, using Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever large format, because as you can see, this is about 206 megabytes. File transfer that you use will send this to us, and we will take it from there.